Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here from Miss Carrie's Creations. Today I'm going to share a simple scrapbook layout with a masculine feel. In this video I'm going to share a fall scrapbook page that came together quickly with pattern paper, a stencil, and paper snips from Bramble Fox. On my desk I have the final piece from my November Foxbox collection and the Autumn Words Fall Stencil. I'm also going to bring in two paper snips sheets, number 41 and number 42, which are great for your fall projects. As I create my layout, I'll bring in a few other supplies and I'll list those in the description below, along with a link to the November Foxbox. I have selected this pattern from Simple Stories for my background. Those mushrooms and leaves match many of the items on the paper snip sheets. I'm going to lay two pattern strips across the page and bring in this photo of our new son and their dogs. I want to frame this a bit more, so I'm going to tuck these circles behind the photo, and I'll be placing the perspective title below. To me, this isn't looking quite right, and I think it's because the pattern paper has a natural arc in the images, which is similar in size to the circles I cut. I'm going to move all of this to the right side of the page. And now it flows much better because those items sit over the smaller elements on the pattern paper. The white cardstock is a bit plain, so I'm going to use the Autumn Words stencil to create some pattern over it. I like all of the fall words, so I'm just going to use those to create the pattern on my cardstock. To prevent any of the ink from getting on the images, I'm going to use this small blending brush from Bramble Fox to add some ink to the words on the circle. Right now, I'm only filling in a portion of that circle. I'm going to use the same ink color throughout, but I'm varying the color with the amount of ink I add to the brush. Now that half the circle is complete, I'm going to move this stencil to the other side. I know that there will be a few gaps in the words, but I'll fill those in later. As I continue to finish the stenciling, I would love it if you tap that subscribe button and let me know that you're new here. If you're already a subscriber, let me know that you're enjoying today's project by tapping the thumbs up icon or leaving me a comment below. I would love to know if you enjoy adding stenciled images to your scrapbook pages. Alright, now that the second half is finished, I do have a few gaps. Most of these gaps were created because I didn't add the fall images from the stencil, and others were created because of the way I laid the stencil on the other half. As you can see, this is an easy fix. I'm just positioning the stencil over those gaps and using that small blending brush to fill it in with a few words. I'm going to finish this off camera and then I'll show you how the page comes together. I have already placed the circle onto my page and I really like the way it looks. These two long pattern strips are going to layer right over that circle. These have a nice masculine feel which goes well with the photo. The photo was taken by our daughter when her husband and their two dogs were looking outside the window at the autumn rain. I'm realizing that as I place this photo down, I have covered up most of the stenciling. I honestly don't mind because it looks just like a piece of pattern paper behind the photo. Off camera, I added some stitching and embroidered arrows to those pattern strips. I have also cut out all the leaf images and little phrases from the paper snips. Now I'm going to start layering the items on my page. I'm starting with a little phrase in the upper right corner of the photo, and then I'm going to bring in the leaves to frame both the photo and the title perspective. I'm placing larger leaves at the base that are going to sit below the photo and the title. Then I'm going to add similar colors at the top of the photo. I chose leaf colors that match the pattern paper images below to give this page a more cohesive look. As I lay down these leaves, you might also notice that I'm trying to form visual triangles with colors, shapes, and sizes of leaves. I chose to cut out my leaves with a white border because some of the other elements I'm going to add also have a white border. You can also cut them out without the white border if you like. I did debate on sanding or adding stitches to the leaves, which is something that I've done before, but I decided to keep this page simple today. If you want a more distressed look, these paper snips look great with a little bit of sanding or paint splatter. So I've basically got all the leaves down, and now I want to bring in some little mushrooms. Next to the cluster, I'm going to add another phrase from the paper snip sheet. This has a pale pink frame, which might not be considered a masculine color, but it goes well with the pink images at the base of the page. The pink also stands out well on all of those dark fall colors. I'm going to adhere the perspective in place. I just put a little bit of liquid adhesive on the back, then sat an acrylic stamping block over the top until it dried. On this layout, I have added 2 bundles of leaves, a title and phrases, but no place for my story. To finish off my visual triangle of leaves and create some flow, I'm going to add a little journal card here at the top with a date label. I'm also going to add another paper snip phrase and some of the leaves. I will be trimming off the top of the journaling card. If you have a top loading page protector, you could leave it there if you wanted to. Alright, I'm going to add a few more items to this layout and then I'll share the finished piece. To finish off this masculine scrapbook page, I added some gray stitching to the circles. These do a great job of framing the photo. I also sprinkled a few gray enamel dots throughout my layout. Today, I shared a simple autumn scrapbook layout with a masculine feel. This page came together really quickly with some bits of patterned paper, stitching, stenciling, and those lovely fall paper snips from Bramble Fox. Those painted leaves and fall phrases are great additions to your autumn projects. I hope that all the techniques I shared with you inspire you to try something new. If you're one who enjoys pinning photos to inspiration boards, I have added these photos to my website and to the Bramble Fox Friends group for you to save. I want to thank you for joining me as I shared another memory with you. If you would like to see more of my projects, you can visit my channel or follow Miss Carrie's Creations online. If you have any questions about this project or the supplies I used, feel free to comment below. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.